What's going on? Sly White Falcon. What's up, Jewel Santana? What's up, Roadrunner? Take Two Chickens. Joe Dirty. OMG TV. Skull Vikings. Yes, man, we're doing really well. We're doing really well. Tony Flips one. Nice name. What's going on, guys? What's up, Pat Can? All right, let's get started. So, yeah, I'm still stuck in New York, as you can see behind me. If you can see the beautiful lights behind me. These windows, if you see anybody fucking in any of these windows, that's not my problem. All right, YouTube, don't censor me. Um, but yeah, man, the traffic is crazy now. I don't know if you can see this on the phone, but it's all red everywhere. If you've been following the news, it's because there's been a bunch of makeshift bombs sent to certain people in New York. So it's actually been, there's cops everywhere. Every street is shut down. So even if I wanted to leave today, I couldn't. The traffic is just nonstop everywhere. But anyway, that's enough about New York. Let us get right into it. So, a couple of things that stand out to me in terms of Bitcoin's price. This is Bitcoin priced against, this is on Bitfinex, right? So, an exchange that has Tether. And this is Bitcoin on Coinbase, an exchange that doesn't have Tether. And of course, there was a price difference, a discrepancy between the two because of Tether's price, because of them losing the peg to the dollar. If you look at Tether's price right now, it is 98.8 cents. So it's actually steadily climbing almost 99 cents. It has taken a little bit longer than I'd like for it to normalize, but that is why you see that price discrepancy. Although the price discrepancy is narrowing, so it's actually less than $130 difference between the price of Bitcoin on Coinbase and the price of Bitcoin on Bitfinex. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you look at, I'm sure you've probably seen articles from today talking about Bitcoin's volatility, but this is the tightest, or I guess smallest or least volatility that Bitcoin has seen in 18 months. The volatility is so low that the last time we saw volatility this low was April 2017. And this article actually breaks it down really well on CoinDesk, and it says that Bitcoin averaged around $1,200 in April and early May 2017, and the price, give or take, was $33. So the price moved an average of 2.75% on a daily basis. And now we are at 0.86%. 0.86% versus 2.75%. So the reason that I titled the video, I forgot what I titled it, but something about a major move upcoming for Bitcoin, is because you don't generally see periods of volatility that low sustained for a long period of time. If you saw some of my previous analysis videos, you'll know that I said we could exit this descending triangle moving sideways. We don't have to go up. We don't have to go down. It's not a binary movement, right? Because everyone asks up or down, up or down. Is it a rally or are we going to break to the downside? But you could break out of this going sideways, and we did break out of this going sideways, and not only going sideways, but sideways in the most sideways fashion possible, right? The volatility is so low that the price differences, the price change per day is less than $100. So I don't remember volatility, or I don't remember sustainability that low in a long time for that long of a period. As a matter of fact, the actual sideways channel itself, minus this week of very low volatility, has been going on since the beginning of September. So Bitcoin has been trading sideways for the longest period of time in 2018. Let me go to the chat real quick and see if there are any questions at the moment. Tight haircut and beard. Now that's a sexy. You guys are fucking trip. Hello from Florida, Benjamin Leahy. What's up, man? The guy that they caught today because of the packages that were sent to the politicians in NY is from Florida. So hopefully he's not around you. They should have sent me one of those suspicious packages. Could have used an early start to the weekend. Come up to Montreal. That is on my list, man. I've been to Canada a bunch of times. Montreal is still on my list. This guy says tighter than Mia. You guys are fucking trip. All right. Any news about TNT? Yeah. Okay. I'll go over TNT in a bit. TNT is one of those that actually was on the trade alerts. If you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. So let me go back to what's up, Brad? What's up, Galactic Woman? So let me go back to to my analysis because you guys are making me break character here. So yeah, in terms of volatility, we're at the lowest period in 18 months. Now, what else did I want to break up? Here you could see the volatility in graph form. Obviously, we had this period of sharp rally versus and then turn into a sharp decline shortly thereafter. And now the bulls and the bears both are exhausted. This is typical market behavior in parabolic times, right? All right, moving on. Something else I wanted to discuss. Tether sets fire to 500 million Tether cryptocurrency coins. Now, if you don't know, if you haven't read the Tether white paper, and you're just seeing headlines like this, because of the recent suspicious activity or seemingly suspicious activity surrounding Tether, you think that this is something nefarious. But I actually did look into the Tether white paper and I have it right here. And step 5, it says Tether Limited destroys the tethers and sends fiat currency to the user's bank account. So this is actually something that is in their white paper, but it does not provide any sort of schedule as to when that happens. It just says when there is more tether than needed, then it will destroy the tether, send the fiat back to the user's bank account, in this case, the exchange or whoever's using the tether, right? So it isn't really nefarious per their white paper, but reading their white paper a little more, you'll see it describes how they try to prove that there is a one-to-one match between Tether and US dollar. And it says that the Tether is actually it operates on top of the Bitcoin blockchain, so you could see every Tether that's issued or destroyed. Now that may be true, but how you link that to a USD that is in their bank account, that is, that's something that's still behind the veil because we have to take their word for it in terms of how much money they have in the bank, or an auditor or a judge or a court of some sort will have to force it out of them. So that part, vetting the fact that they have one tether or $1 for every tether, that is not open on the blockchain as far as I can tell, because you would need some sort of direct access to their bank account to see what is in there. So there are still questions surrounding Tether, understandably so, by the crypto community. But the fact that this is inching up and we are nearing the point where we're back to a dollar peg is good news. It's just I think that going forward, whoever's running Tether has to be a little bit more transparent. Maybe periodically release bank account statements on a quarterly basis or something, the same way that a stock would do revenue, earnings reports and whatnot. So, all right, let me go back to the chat. Let's see if anybody has said anything that doesn't make me crack up. Do I see gray hair? Yeah, man. Where you been, Christian? I've had gray hair for years. WTC is moving. Yes, it has. WTC was also in the trade alerts. Your info is very informative. Thank you, man. Don't forget Playa del Carmen. I've been to Playa del Carmen as well a bunch of times. First BTC at the moment. Started blah blah blah. All right. All right. So let us go over. Somebody had requested a TNT review, so let me go over that. Oh, actually, before I get into that, so I did want to address one thing. On the last video that I had, it's somebody had said, because I was talking about Bitcoin going sideways. Oh, this guy, Sup, has said there's no such thing as sideways trading. And I replied to him or her, and I said, simply untrue. Basics economic class will tell you this. There's such thing as a market equilibrium, i.e., when neither supply nor demand has a noticeable stranglehold on the other. And then I pulled up this article here: sideways market, sideways drift. Of course, there's such a thing as sideways trading. A sideways channel is, if you've been around markets long enough, you know that this is something that exists. And the great thing about a sideways market is, the resistance and the support obviously is linear or close to linear. So you have established support and resistance that isn't moving in, like a sine wave or a wavy form, right? And so you're able to establish clean support and resistance lines, and you don't have to make a move until, either support or resistance is broken. So yes, there's definitely such a thing as sideways trading. The other comment that I wanted to address, which was not on the topic of crypto, where is this guy? Are you a millionaire? It takes a boatload of money to travel the way you do. Guys, here is a tip, all right? Cut things out from your life that are unnecessary if something like travel is on your agenda, right? You're going to have to make sacrifices in certain areas of your life in order for you to get what you want, right? That is until you are in fact a millionaire. But no, travel doesn't have to be expensive. I know plenty of people that travel on a budget, including me. I mean, I've been traveling for a long time, and yeah, you can make room in your budget for traveling. Now, obviously, if you have kids and other commitments, that's a different story. But you don't have to be a millionaire to travel at all. At all, really. Actually, you can go, if you're flexible, you can go on something like Google Flights and, select a random destination. And it will show you the, price of flights sorted by cheap to expensive, and you can fly to a random place on $300. So yeah, I mean, no, you definitely don't have to be a millionaire to travel at all. All right, let us get back to the charts. I'll do TNT, and then I'll go back to the chat to take some more questions. So TNT, this is one that we did send a trade alert for at the breakout here, looking at, I think it might have been the 4 hour or the 1 day. I mean, it basically has the same chart, but I'll look at the 1 day because it's a bit more condensed and easier to read on the screen. But looking at the 1 day, you'll see that we had an ascending triangle. We had periods, the green volume, the periods of green volume had exceeded the 20-day moving average of the volume, which is this orange line. And this was actually a pretty easy read. And all we said was at the breakout of this triangle, you can enter a trade and set your stop limit below the triangle, right? Set a tight stop limit. So if the momentum does cease and the coin doesn't move up in price, you can protect your trade. And once it goes back below the resistance, you can exit the trade and then wait for another setup. So right now, in terms of a potential trade, it looks like we are seeing support at the 0.236 fib level, so around 550 sats. I would, you could justify entering a trade there, sure. It's just, it really depends on what the volume is doing. I mean, TNT is a coin that I actually I'm not very intimate with in terms of knowledge. It is ranked 250 something, I believe. So it's not like it's something that's on people's radar constantly, where you might see another push forward. You might, who knows? But yeah, you could enter a trade at the 0.236 fib level and set a tight stop limit right below, so that if it does break that support, you exit the trade, and if it does rally, you're still in the trade. But yeah, I mean, I like to trade setups that look perfect or near perfect, and then past that, it is really a risk reward ratio that you have to take into account. But the ascending triangle, that when I saw the coin trending on the crypto screener, the ascending triangle setup that we saw here was just too perfect to pass up, to even attempt a trade at. So that is TNT for now. There isn't really an indication of any sort of more upwards movement, because there isn't, if you look at the shorter term increments, like the 4 hour, you'll see that after the pump, you'll see, this green volume, and then it's just a bunch of red volume after that, and there isn't much volume anymore on this coin. And until you get that volume, I don't think you'll see significant price action on TNT. So that is TNT. Let me go back to the chat and see if there are any more questions surrounding any other coins or anything of that nature. Do you accept Dude, shut up. Do you accept hot? What, in terms of payment? No, I don't. You take crypto. Wow, this This chat has gone off the deep end, man. Your guys' minds are in the gutter. Um, if you had to guess, how long do you think Bitcoin will stay sideways? Well, let me tell you this, bro. If Jesus and Nostradamus and Einstein came back from the dead, they would not be able to tell you the answer to that question. Nobody can tell you the extent of a market. No one can say the bear market will end here or the bull market will end here or it will trade sideways for exactly this long. If I had to guess, I don't know. I mean, I would just be making a wild guess. But there's no need to guess because why would you when you could set up, support and resistance lines? So, you can either, as I said before, the sideways trading really began back in the beginning of September. So you could set up your support and resistance lines that are actually pretty clear within this channel somewhere around here. And now obviously I'm doing this really fast, so this might be sloppy. But if it breaks this resistance with good volume, I think that the next level up is 7,000 just because that's a psychological factor, the whole number bias or the round number bias. And then the real resistance above that, I think, is around 7,400, which is, the period that we dropped off from, the point that we dropped off from to get to here. So you actually don't need to guess. You can just monitor it, set up a price alert or whatever, set up a couple of price alerts, one at the support of this and one at the resistance of this, and you'll know how long it will last, right? So it's not something that you have to guess. Um, but I mean, dude, it could be months. Who knows? The only thing that I would say is that the backed platform is if you see, I think it was 2 or 3 videos ago, it has a date now. It's December 12th, and I don't think an event like that can happen without there being significant price movement, either right before, right, or right after, if it actually does launch on the day that it says it will. So if you're looking for a definitive date, I'm just going to go ahead and say December. All right, look at what happens to Bitcoin's price as we near December, because I think that based on that event, there will be a possible parabolic move on Bitcoin. But again, make sure you're setting up your alerts at the support and resistance of this sideways channel, and then you don't need to guess. I mean, you're a trader, not a fortune teller, right? So, all right, let me go back to the chat. Do you just trade, no hodl? I don't know if you're talking to me, but hey, TTC Van, when you do level lines and triangles to make sense of an entry point, what's the main difference? When you do lines and triangles to make sense of it. Not sure I understand that question, man. If you can rephrase it, then I might help you there. Let's see. Look at the charts, about to pop up. Okay. Do you think ZRX can still go up? I mean, it has already been listed on Coinbase. All right, let us look at ZRX. Do you use wax or gel? If you're talking about my hair, I don't use neither. It's pomade, or yeah, it's pomade. All right, let us look at ZRX, and then Julian Mendoza wants to look at XLM, and Paul wants to look at ETN. So we'll do ZRX, then XLM, then ETN, and then I think I'll end it there so that this doesn't get too daunting and laborious. All right, so ZRX. Let me look at not the Coinbase one. All right. So yeah, so I drew this parabolic curve here because anytime you see, the steps pattern, you're really what you're seeing is a parabolic curve, and now we have broken below that. So yeah, I mean, I think ZRX has definitely lost steam. Just look at the volume, Kareem. You know about volume. We've done one-on-one training before, but you'll see, this consistent volume, even at the 20-day moving average, which is the orange line of volume. And now, I think buyers got exhausted from pumping ZRX, and you're seeing this lull in volume really since October 18th. So that is almost 10 days. What is that? 8 days of very low volume. And you were starting to see the oscillator indicators hook inwards, right, and start trending downwards. And we just broke this parabolic curve that we see here. So that the trend is clearly broken. Now that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. What that could mean is there might be a point for re-entry, and we are now below the 0.382 fib level. I would honestly wait to see if we can get to at least the 0.236 or close to it, which is, you know, right around where the moving averages are, before even entertaining a trade. Now on the flip side, if we do break upwards and, you know, we pass the 0.32 fib level, you could justify, you know, entering a trade with a very tight stop limit, just in case it does, you know, pull back. But at this moment, ZRX is definitely losing steam, as you could tell by the volume, which is, you know, one of the most telling indicators in terms of sentiment of a coin itself, right? So let us look at XLM. All right, looking at XLM, this is one that broke out of the descending wedge, and we have seen a retracement again. I mean, look at this lull in volume. A lot of coins are a victim of this right now. XLM, I think, is a good long-term hold, but you know, if you zoom out a bit, you'll see, excuse me, you'll see that it has been, you know, been trading in this pattern where you have a swing high, swing low, high, low, high, low, high. So it, you know, it seems to be going in this cyclical wavy pattern. And you know that it, I know people are asking because they want to know if something will moon, you know, 10x or 100x soon. And that's really not the case with most of these coins, unless, you know, it's an orchestrated pump. But with XLM, I mean, you know, you could, because it does have this swingy nature, you could enter a trade when, you know, the next time that it nears the support point. So in this case, you know, when it nears the support, which is around here, you could enter a trade and exit at the you know, at the top of the swing, if you're going for short-term profits, but or hold it for long term. XLM is, you know, a coin that that a lot of people in the crypto community are bullish on. But I mean, you're gonna see this lack of volume hurt a lot of coins right now. And then the last one, I think, was it ETC, or I can't remember. Let me look at the chat. Yes, he says, enjoy NYC, get out there. I will after this video. I'm on my way out for sure. God damn it, I lost it. Sorry, can't tell what that was. But yeah, if Andy Rams, no. All right. What you predict will 10x? Pamela Walker. I don't know off the top of my head what I predict will 10x. If you want my honest opinion, I think all of these altcoins will eventually, not all, but you know, the top 50 altcoins will 10x once we start getting an injection of volume back into the market. So anyway, that is it for this video. Again, if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. Yeah, sign up for that. And if you're not subscribed already, subscribe. And until next time, stay safe out there. Oh, I might be holding a post live video chat on the Patreon VIP chat section in the Discord. So if you're diamond or above, then, you know, follow me on the chat in the Discord. I might be holding a post live video chat right after this. So anyway, stay safe out there. Peace.